Welcome back, grade 5s, to another video, and I have very, very good news for you. This is it. The last math lesson of the year, and it's an easy one. So, please, please, please just pay attention and get 100% on your assignment, and we are good to go. You can be done math for the summer, and you can just enjoy your time off. So lesson 5 in statistics and probability, using spinners to compare likelihoods. All I want to do is pay attention to a couple vocab words. We're going to look at a couple little spinners, and that's it. Game over. So this is a spinner. Okay, a little disc. It's got colors on it, numbers on it, pictures on it, something like that. And all we're going to do is try to figure out what the chances are of a spinner, in this case a paperclip, landing on it if you flick it around. So like I said, all I want to do is pay attention to the vocab. I have a paperclip here, and what I don't have actually is a pencil. So I'm going to use a pen. So I would take my pen here, put a paperclip on. I'm using a big one just so you can see it better. All I would do, whoopsies, take that guy, give it a flick. Okay, it lands on purple. Give it a flick. Lands on pink. Give it a flick. Lands on red. Okay, so that's all using a spinner is. Yeah, easy peasy. If I'm looking at, okay, I'm going to use my spinner here as my example. Okay, so if I'm looking at that, what we're looking at is what are the possibilities, okay? And there's our word here, possible. Okay, so for me, it's possible to get an orange, a pink, a green, a red, or a purple. Okay, those are my options. Okay, it's called your possible outcomes. Okay, so I could get an orange, a pink, a green, a red, or a purple. Okay, it is impossible for me. Okay, it is impossible to get a yellow. It is impossible to get a black. It is impossible to get a brown. It is impossible to get a blue. I don't have a blue on there. Okay, so those are my possible outcomes. And if I look at that, right, if I spin my spinner and I want to think, right, what's the possibility? What are the chances? What is the probability that I get a orange? What is the probability I get a purple? What is the probability I get a red? What is the probability I get a green or a pink? Okay, so we're going to compare the chances to figure out what I'm most likely going to get. Okay, most likely, yeah. Okay. Hopefully you're starting to make connections with the vocab. So I am more likely to get an orange than I am to get a pink. Right, I have a better chance. I'm more likely to get an orange. Okay, there's that vocab word. I am less likely to get a pink than I am to get a green. Okay, I'm comparing them. I am less likely to get a pink than a green. I am equally likely, okay, so I have the same chance to get a purple or a red. Okay, I tried to draw them so they were about the same size. I know it's not exact. Okay, but I'm equally likely to get a purple or a red. Right? I am less likely to get a purple than I am to get an orange. I am less likely to get a green than I am to get a red. Even though they look close, the green is a little bit smaller. Okay, so this is a vocab, right? Impossible, you have no chance of getting, right? Certain, guaranteed. Nothing on here is certain. Okay, because it doesn't matter how big or small the section is, there is a chance I could get it because it's on the spinner. Okay, so the words we're going to use in this lesson for the most part are less likely, equally likely, and more likely. Okay, so less likely, I have less of a chance. On a spinner, it means it's going to be smaller, so I have a less likely chance of getting pink. I got a less likely chance of getting green than pretty much anything else. Equally likely means I have the same chance. Okay, so the spaces are going to have to be the same size, or I'm going to have the same number of, maybe same number of numbers, right? If you're looking over here, right? I am equally likely to get an 8 as I am to get an 8 because they're all 8s, which actually means I am certain to get an 8 because that's the only option on the board, right? If I look on here, I am equally likely to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 because they're all about the same size, and those are my options on the board. So it could go any way. One of the words, a couple of the vocab words that may not show up so much in this unit, but you'll start using it next year a lot, is most likely, least likely. Okay, which is just an extension of more likely or less likely. They are different. Okay, most likely means you have the best chance of getting it. So in this case, on this spinner, I am most likely to get an orange. Okay, I am least likely, okay, I have the least chance of getting a pink because it's the absolute smallest. Okay, it's still possible to get a pink, but it is least likely. Okay, so all we're doing right here is just focusing on the vocabulary choices. One of the things that you can do when you have a spinner, like I'm just going to go to this one here in the bottom corner. Okay, you can write out all your possible options. So sorry, I got to tilt my paper here for a second. That's how I write. So I have an A, I have a B, I have a C, I have another B, I have another B, I have an A, I have a C, and I have a D. Okay, so I can look at these just like this. I have 2 A's, 3 B's, 2 C's, and 1 D. So I am equally likely to get an A as I am to get a C because there's 2 of each. I am more likely to get a B than anything else, right? That makes it the most likely option. I am least likely to get a D, right? I'm less likely to get a D than a C. I'm less likely to get a D than a B. I'm less likely to get a D than an A. All right, and it gets kind of repetitive because it's the same idea over and over and over again, and you'll kind of see that in your questions that you'll do for a little bit of practice. Okay, but it's really simple. Really focus on those vocab words. I want you to think about these 5 99% of the time. Okay, and then these 2 might pop up every now and then for you. So we're just looking at spinners. We're looking at, like the title says, using spinners to compare likelihoods. These are comparing words. Okay, these 3 in particular. This is going to be really messy with little bracket. Okay, those 3 are my comparing words. Impossible and certain get chucked in there every once in a while. So hopefully that makes sense. Any questions, shoot me a message on Google Classroom or by email. You know how to get a hold of me. See you later.